This AI voice agent calls numbers from a Google Sheet and books appointments with people that want to buy from you fully automated. If it gets you just one meeting a day, that's 30 meetings a month. If only 1/3 of them turn into a $1,000 sale, that's $10,000 a month. You don't have to cold call anyone or pay thousands to hire someone to do it for you. You just set the system up and then show up for a 15-minute call, present your offer, and get paid. Here is how it works. Just collect a list of contact details of potential customers, like businesses, or just use my AI lead generation system that can find thousands of contacts per day. And then the AI voice agent calls these numbers from the Google Sheet one by one.
Hi, am I speaking with the team at 24/7's Realty?
Yes.
Great. This is Alex. I know you weren't expecting my call. Do you have about 30 seconds?
Okay.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm reaching out specifically to top-rated real estate agents in San Diego. I saw you have a 5-star rating with 126 reviews, which is impressive. The reason I'm calling is we help real estate businesses like 24/7's Realty use AI systems to increase revenue and cut operational costs. We've helped over 50 agents in California do exactly this. I'm not trying to sell you anything today. I just have a few quick questions to see if this might be a fit for your situation. Does that sound fair?
Yes. Then it asks a few qualifying questions.
Perfect. I've noted all of that. Based on what you've shared, I think you'd really benefit from a 15-minute consultation with one of our AI systems specialists. They can show you specifically how this would work for your business. I can actually help you schedule that consultation right now. It's just 15 minutes. Would that work for you?
Yes.
Great. Let me check what times are available. We have the following options for a 15-minute consultation. Tuesday, November 4th at 10 a.m. Tuesday, November 4th at 2 p.m. Tuesday, November 4th at 4:30 p.m. Which of these works best for you?
10 a.m.
All set. You're booked for Tuesday, November 4th at 10 a.m.
And finally, it can even send a discount code or a special offer as a thank you to everyone that took the call. In this video, we'll build a basic version of this AI voice agent that calls the numbers and records the responses. If you want the pro version, it can also directly book appointments in your calendar. Then you can get the template of the pro version that you can directly import into your account by clicking the second link below in the description of this video. Make sure to stick around till the end because I'll also show you how much running this AI voice agent costs you. The first thing we need to do is to go to my document here and click on this link n8n.io. This is the automation platform we will be using. And here you click on Get Started. Then you can sign up for a free 14-day trial if you don't already have an account. And once you're logged in, you will see this dashboard. And here you click on Create Workflow. And then you will end up in the overview like this. This is our workspace. Now I've already created 2 blocks here because these are the things we will be building. One part to start a call and the second part to store the replies. So let's get started. The first thing we need is a trigger. And in this case, we want it to run on schedule. And here you can decide, okay, when should it call the numbers? You could say, okay, every 5 minutes, it should call the next number. Then I drag it into here, click on save. And the next part we need is actually a list of numbers, right? So we've already created a Google Sheet template for you. So you just can click on it, make a copy. Let's give it a name. And this is where you would put your contact details from the potential clients or businesses you want to contact. Or you could use my lead generation system that will do this automatically for you. So I've already prepared this. This is an example list of leads. So I will just grab a few of these, copy them into my sheet here. You see we have a category like what's the type of business, what's the state, what's the city, what's the name of the business. Now what's the phone number here? I actually use a phone number of myself, like I have a test phone. That's what I use during these building processes. Then we have the number of ratings and reviews. So we have some personalization that our voice agent can reference in the call to make it sound more natural and personalized. That gets us a better response rate. So I can delete this. So this is basically what I would have here. So I can also remove this. So let's mark this as here. So this is all the contact details on this side. And on the right side, this is the stuff that will automatically be filled in by my AI voice agent system. And let's get started. So let's connect it now. Here I need to click on the plus, and here I need to search for Google Sheets. And now I want to have get a rows because I want to retrieve and get information from it. Now here you need to connect your Google account. So click on create new credential, and then you click it sign in with Google. And then you select the same account that you have here. So click on sign in with Google. Select this account where the Google Sheet is in. Click continue. That looks good. And once it's connected, we can click here and it should load my sheet. Yes, lead list, lead list. Now I want to add a filter because it should only load leads that have not been processed. This is a reference because after someone is called, they receive a call ID. So whenever this is empty, then it means it's not been called yet. So I can use this as a filter. I only want those where the call ID here is empty. So I just leave it like this. Now in this case, it gives you 6 items. So I have 6 entries, yes. But if this would, for example, have any value in it, it should now give me only 5. See, it skipped that row because it filtered it out. That's what I want. And now you see it gives us 5 items, but I only want to process 1. So I only want to have 1 of these called, the first one. And to do this, I use a custom function. I call it just next lead. Actually, I first need to add it here. Code in JavaScript. We call it next lead. Let's go back. Here we need to enter the custom code that ChatGPT had built for me. So we have it here. This function, right? So it just picks the first item that the Google Sheet gave me. So just replace this with that. Actually want to load it again. That gives me 6 items. And then it selects only the first one. So that's row number 2, which is this one. So it's this contact here. That's the first one. Yes, and then this will be called in the next step. So it only gives me this one, and then this will be called. Now we have our next contact we want to call. So let's go back to my document. So what is the tool we use to call these numbers? It's Retell. That's a voice agent platform that we will be using to manage and conduct these calls. So you can click on sign in, try for free, and then you will get a few trial credits and you can use this platform. So I've already signed in here. And then the first step I want to do, I want to go to agents. And then here I click on create agent, voice agent, a simple prompt agent, and start from blank, click on create. Now this agent works in a simple way. Here we give it instructions. Like this is the prompt, the system prompt, what we wanted to do, how we wanted to conduct a conversation. And here we have a few tools we can give it access to. So first, you can select your AI model. So that's the model that drives the conversation. I have good experience with GPT-4.1. However, you can test others if you want and see what gives you the best conversation that you want. And here you can select the different voices. So you can go through different voices for different accents, for different languages, and then you can select the one you like. So I could, for example, select this voice, and then this would be used. So you can also listen to it if you want to, and select it. Here you can select a language, and that's it. So let's enter this prompt, the instructions. Already prepared this for you, because it contains several things. It contains the task the agent should complete, and it contains the custom info about our business. And I will show you how we put this in there. So let's start from the beginning, so you understand how these prompts are designed to work effectively for voice agents. So here the identity, this is your task. So what's its role? Rules, like guidelines for how it should talk to those people. And then we have the breakdown of the conversation. So the greeting, introduce yourself and ask for permission. And this is the example. Hi, am I speaking with? Now here you see, this is where the magic happens, right? This is a placeholder where it can use the information we have here about the name of this business or this person, and it can reference it in the conversation. And you will see this in action once we test it. And once I have gone through the qualification process, then they will be guided to book an appointment for a 15-minute call in this example. And here, if they say yes, they want to book a call, then this is just a demonstration, so how the call booking process would happen. And it doesn't really check your actual calendar, because this is another step that I've covered in the pro version of this automation that you can get access to by clicking the second link in the description below this video. But connecting your calendar would be a little bit too much for this video. And then it saves all the information it has collected through the conversation of this call using a function called save lead data. And that's what we will connect here to send all this information back to our automation and store it in our Google Sheet. Now here you also need to select the welcome message the AI speaks first. So first I click save here. Now I will go back to my automation, because now I need to connect this voice agent that I've just created here to my automation. How do I do this? Well, we need to go with an HTTP request node. That's what you always use when there is no direct integration. So if I click on here and I search for retell, it doesn't exist. But it doesn't matter, because I can always use HTTP request to connect any tool I want, even if they don't have a direct integration with it. And here, let's just go back here. First thing we need is post, because we're sending information to make the call, the URL. I've prepared this for you here. So just copy and paste these. So this is just a voice call. Next, what do we need? And we need header parameters, authorization here. And then we need BIRA and API key. Okay, so let's go back to retell. Here you see on the right, you can click publish. So let's click publish for now, so it's saved properly. And let's go back. Go to settings. Go to API keys. Create a new key here. Click create. Then we copy that. And we paste it in here. And now we need one more parameter, which is this content type, application and JSON. And now we need to select send body using JSON. So this is just where we tell it, okay, this is who you need to call. This is the phone number. These are the contact details. This is the information about the business. Here, important, switch to expressions. Now here, we need to change this to number. So this must be the number that should be called. And this is where we get this information. So here we have phone. We got it from the Google Sheet, right? Okay, this is already green. This is good. You see, this is the custom info. I mean, first it's the name. So this is the information we send to our voice agent. So it understands who it needs to call. So this is the information we send to our voice agent. So it can reference it during the call. So it can address the person or the business with that. It can say, hey, I saw you have this rating. There's the email address, there's the state, there's the industry, and there's the current time. So there's two more informations we need to enter before we can complete the setup process here. We need the voice agent phone number and we need the voice agent ID. So let's connect the phone number. Now there are three options you have. So I've listed them here at the top of the sheet. The easiest one is to buy a phone number from retell. So I can click here, But there's a limitation, right? You can only use United States or Canada phone numbers here. So I can here just select one, save it, and then I have a phone number and I can use it. So here there might be some verification you need to complete before you can use this for outbound calls, so calls that go to others, so you call others automatically. So you see the integration was very simple. You just buy a phone number and you can directly use it. So I could now basically select my agent here that I've created, and then it is connected. So if I go to agents, you see it now has the phone number. But there is a limitation to that, because you can only use it for REST-based calling, or in Canada, as you saw, right? But what if you're outside? Well, if you're outside the US, you can still use this to test your voice agent, right? For a US phone. However, I'm in Germany, right? If I have a US phone number call me, there might be some extra charges, so I don't want that. Then I would just need to go with these two other options. They're a little bit more technical, but they can still be done. So these is also, if you're US based, you can get a phone number for free connected, and you just watch this video and follow this guide. And here, this is what I did in Germany, right? I'm based in Germany. So I want a German phone number. I want to be called from a German phone number. And that's why I use this approach. But it's a little bit more technical. I already covered it in this video. So you can click it, watch it, get your phone number set up like that, and then continue with this. However, if you want a quick and easy for testing outside the US, you can also just use this one because it's set up in seconds, while this could take a few minutes to be set up. So let's go to phone numbers here. Now I want to have my German phone number here connected to this. It's in this, just disable it for now. And then I want to grab this phone number. So this is the phone number you want to use. And then we paste it in here. So this is the voice agent number that will call you from this number. And the other thing we need is the voice agent ID. So we get it from here, agents. Actually rename this. It's just common sheet caller demo. Here, this is the agent ID. Click on copy. And that should be it. So if I click on now on execute step, I should now receive the call. So let's click on it. Yes, I'm receiving the call. There's one more step to complete the setup for this voice agent. You saw we have these functions here. Save lead data, right? That's a function that stores the information from the call and sends it back to my automation. And for this to work, we need to add it here. So I will grab this name, copy that. We want to have a custom function. We give it this name, save lead data. And here is the copy and paste information you need. Here's a description. So we tell the voice agent, hey, you have access to this new function. You can do this with it, save the information after collecting replies. Now we need to add this here as headers, content type, application and JSON, actually here. And here we need the parameters. This is the information we send. Copy and paste it in here. Switch this on. And good. You see we just put in one value here, one of the other. What's the biggest challenge? So this is based on the responses or on the questions where they are asked, hey, what's the biggest challenge? And how are you currently generating leads? So these are just the questions I'm asking. So you can change these based on your questions that you want to ask. And then it sends this information to my to my automation, to my Google Sheet. But for now, we'll just put in a example URL because we need to connect this in the next part. Click on save for now. Okay, we need to add an URL. Let's just grab this URL. And then click publish. And now we want to save this back to my Google Sheet. So I want to make a note that this lead is called. And that's what I use here, update row and sheet. Again, use the same sheet I've already connected. Now I want to select the column to match. Should be the row number. So it should write this data into the row that was called. And in this case, it was this one. So I want to have, I can have the current time when it was called. Actually, I don't need these because this is from the lead sheet. I want to start saving date from this here call ID. We have this is what we need for the next part also to identify my calls. That's the call date. This is where I put in the current date. Now I can save the replies, not yet. This will be in the next step. So I don't need any of that yet. So that's all I do. Execute it. Okay, the row number, right? We need to select that row number. Comes from here. And then, yes, call ID and call date. That's all I want from now. The second part of this voice agent is very important because you want to store the replies, the conversation in my Google Sheet. So I want to know when I look at my Google Sheet here, I want to know, okay, what did they reply during the call? And when did they book the appointment? This is what I want to know. And to do this, we need to set up a second part of this workflow. And we call this here webhook. That's where you can get information from another platform with a webhook. So this should be set to post. And here we need to have respond using a respond to webhook node. So that also the voice agent knows, okay, it worked. It sends the confirmation back. And here we have this URL, right? And this where we need to enter here in save leads data. Because it sends this information that it collected during a conversation to this webhook. And that's how it lands. Click on publish. And that's how it will land here. So here it will send the information. And I will just store it in my Google Sheet. So I just click on a Google Sheet. We have update row and sheet. Now we have the same sheet here. The column to match should be call ID. And now we actually need to trigger it because we have no data here, right? And to trigger a webhook, first, before we can trigger it, we need to add a webhook respond to webhook node, just to call all incoming items. So how do we get information to this webhook? Well, we need to conduct the call. I need to go here, and then I click on here, and then it should call the next one. So it will call this. You see it's calling me now. Okay, double click it.
Hi, am I speaking with the team at Whistlebeer Group?
Yes.
Great, this is Alex. I know you weren't expecting my call. Do you have about 30 seconds?
Now you see I have received the information. And sometimes you may need to click it again because listening for the webhook may stop after a few minutes. So then you just click it again if the call isn't over yet. And then when it tells you, okay, I've saved all the information, then it should normally be triggered. And then you receive this here. Now we can process it and store it. So here we have just save call info. And now we can match the call ID because we get it from our webhook here. So drag and drop those. I skip the call. You just complete it. And once you've completed until the booking process, all the details will be saved and you will receive the data in the webhook. Columns called appointment date. Let's go back here. Where do we have it? We have replies. So these are the columns here. I want to have store the replies appointment date. So the replies, they are here, right? So we have, I can just type it in, lead gen. But this depends on what your questions are. So switch it to expressions, biggest challenge, drag this in here. Then we have team size, team, and tools. Then we have goal, this one. So these are 4, okay. Then we have appointment date, okay. Now we don't need these. This is in the pro version, so my pro version also stores the information. Okay, did the person pick up? Did the voice agent hang up, right? Or did they answer the call or not? And then it gives you a link to the transcript. It also calculates the duration and the cost of each call. But this is in a pro version that you can get access to by clicking the second link below this video. But if I click execute step, it should save it. Yep, here you see stored the replies. Perfect. Now I can also execute this webhook here. There doesn't really happen anything. It just sends the confirmation back to my voice agent that it worked. There's one extra feature we can add, which is to send a custom email to everyone that was called. Now there are different email tools you could use here, but I want to use just Gmail because it's the easiest for me to integrate right now. So here I click on send a message. And there I just select an Gmail account I have. For example, I could select this one. And then here I connect it, click credential, sign in with Google. Select this Gmail account. Click allow, continue. Good. And now operation is sent to this email address here. This is what we gotten from our webhook about the lead. So here it could be, here is your discount code, whatever you want to tell the person. So you could say, hey, here is your gift, here's a special offer, here's a thank you for the call, or even just a reminder with the appointment and a quick note, right, about the call. And then here I could say, hey, thanks for the call. Here is a discount code to use for your next order, or when you book our service, right? Code and then the name. Now if I click execute, this should arrive here. Yes. So then this will be sent. I can format it a little bit. Okay, so now it's in one line. I actually want it as a text. If I click it again. Now, okay, I like this better, this formatting, good. Now the setup is complete. I can switch this to active, and then I can set this up, for example, to 30 seconds. And then in 30 seconds, it should call me. Now you hear, it's calling me. It works, the setup is complete. If you want to see more videos like this where I show you how to build this highly effective AI agents and automations, even as total beginner without any technical background, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos.